there is a fashion now for courses in screenwriting and books on screenwriting and this and that and the other. I've never done a course and I've never read a book. I mean, maybe they are helpful, but I think what's very important is to remember that almost all courses and books and analysis of films and so on are, by definition, analysing work that has already appeared, has already been made. So unconsciously, they tend to steer their pupils towards the already known. And they say, oh, well, you know, you must have your event by page 36 or something. If you are going to get lucky, if someone is going to pick you up and say, it's going to be because of something in your writing that they have not already seen and has not already been made. And I know that if I was the producer of Heartbeat and I was looking for a new writer to take on to write an episode, I wouldn't take on the person who sent me a sort of script of Heartbeat. I would take on the man or woman who sent me a completely mad script about an invasion from Mars that I couldn't stop turning the pages, because I would think, well, this isn't about Mars, but they'll bring something new to Heartbeat instead of the same old stuff. I think you've got to cherish what you have or what you might have that's just you, and not be sort of talked out of it, you know. I mean, I always remember when I first wrote the first draft of Snobs, which was just before, it's a little before Gosford Park. It was a little bit different to the one that came up, but it wasn't terribly different. And I showed it to an agent, and he came to me and he said, my advice to you is to put this trivial nonsense in the dustbin and write something adult. Now Snobs is a bestseller in, I think, 20 countries, and has been a bestseller all over America, and I'm scripting it now, and it's, you know, doing very well in China, Lithuania, Turkey. And that's really because I didn't put it in the dustbin. And I mean, I was very disheartened, as you are. But then I looked at it again and I thought, no, he didn't get it. That's all. He didn't get it. And there are plenty of people who read everyone's first scribblings and didn't get it. And you have to somehow not let yourself be flattened when that happens to you. And it's very flattening. But just don't think that because this guru or that guru... I mean, I always remember one thing when there's a very distinguished and I'm sure incredibly useful teacher called, is it Robert McGee? Someone McGee. Yeah. And he had this thing against voiceover. And he decided that he didn't like voiceover. And he used to say anything but voiceover. And finally this was kind of adopted by the studios, and it became a kind of truism that, you know, what we mustn't do is fall back on voiceover. And I remember saying to a producer once, but, you know, what about Rebecca? I mean, what about millions of films? What about Citizen Kane? What about 100 of my favourite films, which all have voiceover? No, voiceover is finished. Voiceover is the worst thing that can happen to you. If you like voiceover, write in voiceover. And if the script works, maybe someone will make it. And the other thing I think is, when you're writing a script, of course you're writing it to get made. You know, you're trying to write a movie script, you want it to be made. But it may be that script has a different role in your life as an audition piece. And it may be that it won't get made, but someone will so like the way it's written that you will be commissioned to write something else. So just because it isn't getting made, or because it's too expensive, or, you know, doesn't mean it doesn't have a part to play. I mean, the Eustace Diamonds was the script that changed my life, and nobody ever made it. So I think you have to sort of bear that in mind, that, you know, just because it doesn't get made doesn't mean it was a failure, because it may have done what you needed it to do to unlock the rest of your career.